Take a moment to slow down and prepare the space because what happens here matters. This is connection. This is Between Us Girls, a special series from the Happy, Healthy Her podcast.
Okay.
Have you ever jolted awake at 2 or 3 a.m., heart racing, brain buzzing, and absolutely no reason for your eyes to be open? You look at the clock, sigh, flip your pillow over to the cool side, and know deep down that you're probably not falling back to sleep anytime soon. Okay, so today is special. This is our very first Happy Healthy Her Between Us Girls episode, which basically means you're getting us. No script, no guests, no polish. Just real conversation about the stuff midlife women are actually dealing with. I'm Cynthia, a menopause health coach.
Hey, I'm Tracy, a empowerment coach.
I'm Lorraine. I'm your mindset wellness coach.
Nice.
And since half of us are awake at 2 a.m. anyway, we figured we might as well talk about it. Today's conversation is sleep sabotage. So, if we were going to get into the science of the 2 a.m. wake up, we would say something like this. In midlife, our hormones stop following their old rhythm. Cortisol, which is supposed to rise closer to morning, can spike too early and flip the internal alarm on at 2 or 3 a.m. Blood sugar can dip overnight, especially when estrogen drops and your body releases cortisol to rescue it, which also wakes you up. Your internal thermostat gets glitchy, so even subtle temperature shifts can trigger night sweats and that sudden, why am I awake feeling? And when estrogen and progesterone fall, they stop supporting GABA, your brain's calming chemical. So the nervous system doesn't have the same soothing buffer it used to. So no, it's not just about stress you ignored. It's hormones, it's biology, it's midlife. Yet, this is our Between Us Girls time. So let's share our 2 a.m. stories, strategies, and sorrows.
Nice. Thank you for that. Man, I have my own sorrows about that.
You
Oh,
share.
oh boy. Yeah, I'm sure like everybody, right? You wake up
Yeah.
2:30 and you're like and your brain will not stop. Like it just you're talking, having, you're redoing that conversation you had with somebody at work or whatever it is. Your to-do list is going through your head. You're, oh my God, did I pay that bill? Did I forget this? Did I do that? Ugh.
Because that all matters
So,
at 2 a.m., right?
oh, right. And then I turn the TV on and I go to sleep. I
Uh-oh.
can't, the noise from the TV and the light is way quieter than the noise that goes on in my head, or it used to be. I'm actually getting really good at better, much, much better. Thank goodness, knock on wood. The things are getting much better. But yeah, it's so that's not fun. Not fun.
Oh, and if your
So
body
what have
wants
you
to go
done
pee,
to,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I was
I
going to
was
say,
gonna
if your
say,
body
so
wants
what
to
did
go
you do about it, Tracy?
What? Um, that's a great question. I don't, I honestly, um, I don't, because I was taking GABA, right? I was doing all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I've stopped it. Um, I I started, well, I got myself a little treadmill. I don't have a lot of space here, and it's too cold in the winter, and it's too
Right.
awful to get outside. And then in the summer here, there's so many bugs, I can't get outside. So I got myself a little treadmill, and I've started walking on that now. So I'm getting a bit of movement. I'm doing my vagus nerve stuff. I got this new app called New Calm. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Did I tell you about that one yet?
I don't think so.
It's fantastic. So it's all kinds of different binaural. See, I'm not medical, but binaural beats, but it
Oh yeah.
masks it in music. So you can't tell it's happening. And there's different ones to revive you. It's called Ignite. There's one for deep sleep you can listen to. You have to put an eye patch on and do that one. There's one for calm, just when you're working through the day or you want to, kind of get a revamp or a rejuvenated in the middle of the day. You can put it on for 20 minutes. And one's called a power nap. You don't nap. It's just, it gives you that refreshing boost. So there's just these little cool little things. But again, at first it didn't really do. I'm like, whatever. It's just a typical. But I'm actually starting to sleep better. My heart rate variable is coming up. It was always like in overload at all times. So it's starting to come, like, be in a normal range. Even great some days. It tells me I'm great. I'm like, hey. So yeah, so it's those kinds of things. And you know, I eat animal based, and I don't like to say carnivore, but I strictly pretty much just eat meat. But I've been starting to try and eat a banana here and there, or you know, I'll have some sweet potatoes with supper, just a little bit of sweet potato fries. I make them, I don't buy them in a bag, but
Mm-hmm.
and I think just that, like the bit of carbs at night for my hormones being in postmenopause is helping. Like there's could be a mixture of everything, but
Right.
those little things are working. I woke up this morning at 5:30 a.m. I'm like, hey, that's weird. I don't do that, right? So, and I did that
Wow.
again like for 3 or 4 days in a row. I've been waking up and the sun is coming out, or like, wow, that's different. Yeah. So,
Well, that's great.
thanks.
Good tips. Good tips. And were you saying something, Cynthia? I didn't mean to cut you off.
When you go
That's
pee.
okay. Yeah.
You wake
It's
up to go
the
pee. Yeah.
wake up to go pee, and then you have to close your eyes to the bathroom, sit on the toilet with your eyes closed, trying to stay asleep,
Sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Hope you don't fall
Because
off the toilet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm down in Mexico that there's a gecko under the seat because
Oh, oh
that
man.
would wake you up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I find if I open my eyes, I open my mind, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Mm.
once you have specific thoughts, like you said, did I pay a bill? Did I say something silly in that conversation? Once you pull that thread, like then that's
Oh,
it. I find
yeah.
then I follow it and I know I'm following it. I know I'm keeping
Yeah.
myself awake,
Yeah.
but it's prime
And they
time for thinking.
Yeah, and they say, right, if you want to get that, and this, I say the same thing, but you know, we say some things and we do some things, but I know it works as if you do a journal at nighttime. I always, by the time I get to bed, I'm so like, oh my goodness, I just, you know, I'm tired. But if you write all that stuff out of your head,
Yep.
what are you thinking about when you go to bed? What do you need to remember for tomorrow, or make sure you do tomorrow? Just writing that stuff out absolutely is a game changer. I did it a few times and it was so great, but I didn't stick with it. So I'm trying to get myself back into that kind of a nice sleep routine because it's so, so
Right.
important. Especially if you're struggling to sleep, you need a routine of some sort, right? So,
Well,
mm,
that's
Yep.
the key. I think a routine is very helpful
mm,
to good sleep
yeah.
because and of course there's lots of best practices, but any routine that is good for you is going to be a good routine.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
I have a couple of words here that I want to bring up because I thought they were fun. The drifting to sleep state is
mm.
called hypnagogic.
Oh, that
So I
is
thought that
fun.
was kind of funny with my hypnotherapy. So it
Hypnagogic.
has that like relaxation, when you're kind of going into twilight or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's what you guys are talking about is that we have these unprocessed either emotions,
Mm,
thoughts, to-dos, things like that. And so what happens when we wake up at 3 o'clock, the brain says, here we go, let's finish those up.
yeah. Yeah.
And that's the last thing we want, right? So
Mm,
I am I don't know if this is the right word, a prolific self-talker. I talk to myself constantly. I also have the ringing in the ears, which I've had
ah,
my whole life, so it doesn't,
mhm.
drive me insane because it's all I've ever known. But sometimes it can get extremely loud. So I also, when I had my babies, I turned into an extremely light sleeper, so much
Mhm.
so that I have been using earplugs for the last 25 years
Wow.
or plus, and I probably wouldn't be sleeping as well if I didn't. I've tried it a
Right.
few times, like going off of them and I'll sleep for 3 or 4 hours, but I can't get that. So, what I started doing with my 3 a.m. and my brain starts going is I hum. And
Mm.
I hum because it interrupts my talking to myself.
Yeah.
So if I
And it,
can hum, and I do it like you know, under
Mhm.
my breath kind of humming. It's not like I'm running around, you know. So
Waking your husband up.
Yeah,
yeah, no,
but
I do
that
it very low, and I basically do it to myself, I guess, and just to keep myself from forming sentences
but that
and
that's
talking to
funny
myself.
because it calms your vagus nerve.
Yeah,
Yes.
That is
you
exactly what
interrupt.
you're supposed to do if you're, and that
Yes.
will put you into that safety calm state. So that's good. That's
So I
fantastic.
do that if it becomes a problem. I have been sleeping much better. I used to have a much worse problem getting up at 2:30, 3:30, not being able to get back to sleep. I used to get up, I used to go out, I used to watch at least a movie
Oh,
and
Hmm.
wow.
then go back to sleep because it took that long for my body to get tired again, for my brain to get
Yeah,
tired again. And I'm sure it's not the best thing to do. I'm sure picking up a book or journaling or something else. But for me, it's the distraction I needed from whatever my
yeah.
mind was doing. And I used to, that was me, 70% of the time. But now it's me like maybe 3% of the time. So
Oh, nice.
between um, eating better, exercising more, um, trying to get things done during the day, having a routine, taking my magnesium, all those little things, it's gotten so much better. So much better.
Can I
That's, I
ask
think,
you?
oh,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry, go. I
Well, I
spoke
just
enough.
wanted to ask about the movie you picked because I heard that when you are anxious or like awake in the middle of the night, you will pick a movie you've already watched because then there's no suspense. There's no, I wonder what's going to happen because that actually makes you more alert. So, were you picking movies you had seen before so that you could calm yourself down?
Yes, I either picked
Yeah.
movies that I had seen before that I love, they comfort me,
Yep.
or I picked movies that I almost didn't care about.
Oh,
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know, it's
exactly. You
it's
don't care how
like,
it ends.
yeah.
yeah.
It's
And
yeah.
and before I get haters, I'm going to say Hallmark, but I don't mean that in the way that you think. I mean that I love the Hallmark movies, but they're very similar. Once you
Predictable.
watch like 50 of them, they have this very, expected pattern. And so I would pick a movie that I hadn't seen, but that maybe I don't know the actors, that I'm not familiar or whatever, and the plot line wasn't too overly interesting to me. It was very neutral, that you knew what to expect, because then it could just kind of lull me. And so that kind of a movie or show I would pick, because I found if I tried to pick up a show that I was currently watching
You
and
can't sleep.
wanted to continue
Yeah,
Yeah.
watching, it doesn't work as well.
no,
I'm up for longer because of that, and I do that at night
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And that can be a disruptive for your sleep, because when you're watching something at night and it's got many episodes and you're
Hmm.
really into it, you stay up longer than you naturally would,
Hmm.
just wanting that next episode or having that conclusion
Binging
or
it. I can't
whatever.
stop.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not a
Yeah.
good idea either.
No,
My
my
husband has
go-to
it
is
down pat.
Seinfeld. Yeah.
Oh,
I
is
watch
it?
Yeah,
Seinfeld every night. Seinfeld's
yeah,
on our, that's my security blanket. It's like getting my gaga, right? I put on and I go, I don't, I can pretty much recite every word of every episode of Seinfeld because it's been on my TV for years, every single night. And it's
right,
only got 9 series. Like it just
right,
keeps
right.
going, keeps going, keeps
And
going,
then it's
keeps going.
familiar, right?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
husband
It's
does the
something I
same
don't,
thing. He
yeah.
does Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. You
And
know
we
exactly
we
what's
know
going to
every
happen.
show, we know, but he
Yeah.
wants that light-hearted,
Yeah.
fun, easy, feel good kind of
Yeah.
drifting off. And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
totally get that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I know everybody's like, oh, you gotta get rid of your screens and and that's fine if you
Yeah,
don't have monkey brain or a high stress life or right. But
right.
you can't just go from that to I'm gonna now just journal in my thing and I'm gonna hum and I'm gonna sleep. Like I've
Mm.
tried that and I lay in bed until 1 in the morning. I'm like, this, I put my TV on and I fall asleep
Exactly.
instantly. So
But you're
everybody's
both
so
talking
different.
about televisions. You're not talking about social media. That
No,
does something
yeah,
different to your
I have
brain
social media.
than
Yeah.
watching something predictable and slow and easy, right?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
absolutely.
stimulating. It's a different.
Yeah. Yeah.
True. Because
Absolutely.
reading doesn't quite do it either. It
Mm.
just makes your eyes really tired and
Tired.
bloodshot.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
that doesn't, and again, like you were saying, everybody's different. Somebody
Mm.
might think reading is the ticket, and that's what
Yeah.
they do. Others
Yeah.
think journaling, others think maybe even working out or stretching or
Yeah.
taking a little walk or having a snack or whatever it is.
Mm.
Everybody should do what it is that works for them, that really
Yeah.
benefits their sleep. But if you have a different idea, and it works for you, then
Yeah. It's not
that's where,
wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
If
It
it
can't be
works for you, then
wrong.
it's, yeah.
I think it's the
Exactly.
scheduling. It's however you do it. If you do it kind of the same at the same time, then your body, like when I
Yeah.
was raising my boys, it was like they knew it was bedtime when I said pajamas, brush your teeth, grab a book. And their body knew that
Yeah.
as soon as mom read my book, it's sleep time. Like it was scheduled. And for me, I'm the same way. Like my body knows that this is how I do this, and then I go to sleep. And so as soon as there's nights because I do my brush my teeth routine, like brush your teeth, floss your teeth, da 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 da. It takes so long to do that part in the bathroom that
Mhm.
sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm too tired to do my routine because as soon as I start walking the bathroom, my body's like, bedtime, right? And I'm like, no, 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 I need to finish my routine because my body is so used to how I'm doing it.
That's
But
funny.
yeah.
Or it does the opposite. It wakes you up. You're so
Yeah.
tired. And then
Yeah.
you go, and then you have to do this and that and the other thing.
Oh,
And then you get in bed and you're like, oh, I need at least 20 or 30 minutes more of TV because
Just
now I'm
calm down.
awake. So it can
yeah.
really
So true.
disrupt.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
do you remember your patterns when you were young? I mean, what was going to bed like when you were young, like when you were going to school?
Yeah, it was your parents told you it was bedtime, right? You
But
had
did you
that
easily
set
go
time.
off to sleep,
Mm.
or
Oh
did
yeah,
you
there was
have
never a
difficulty?
TV. Yeah, we only had
Yeah.
one TV in the house back then, right? And
Oh,
you had to get up to change the channel. That's no fun, right? Yeah,
yep.
it was dark and it was quiet and you just went to
Yeah.
bed. Like,
And so
it's
you just
funny.
drifted. Was it easy for you at that time to drift off? I mean, like within 15 minutes, or did it take a little longer? Or I was just curious as to
Yeah,
how.
I don't recall ever struggling to go to sleep. Usually
Yep.
by the time one, you cuddle in and it was like, okay, I'm gone. You never
Yeah.
thought about it. And
Hmm.
then you grow up and have a life. I almost swore. You have a life and yeah, and then your brain doesn't stop. You lose that pleasurable just nothingness, right? So I'd like to get back to that. That would be cool.
I've
Yeah,
never had
I
that.
I always had this. I always had active brain at night. I think I was telling Cynthia that I used to just drive my mom crazy because I'd go to bed and it'd probably be like 10:30 or something. And then oh yeah, and I'd get up, I'd go
You're
downstairs, I'd go in her room, and I said, oh mom, by the way, I forgot to tell you X, Y, and Z. And then I'd go back upstairs, I'd get into bed. 10 minutes later, oh, I really should tell her this too. I mean, I would do it up to 3 times. I forgot the school paper, this and that, or my photos are this week, or whatever it was. And I would do it all the time. And I had a few of my children used to do it to me.
That's funny.
One in particular all the time. And it's almost midnight. I forgot to tell you, I have a diorama due tomorrow. It's midnight. And obviously, you need things. So I became one of those mothers that I had a whole craft corner. I had feathers and toothpicks and rocks and sand and everything you could think of, so that that midnight call for a
Oh, wow.
diorama or a mission or whatever it was, I could throw something together at midnight.
Oh man.
That would
It's
be the
really
life
Yeah.
fun.
part, Tracy,
There's
you're talking about.
Yes,
was yeah.
exactly.
No, I don't
And I
recall
can
ever
also
being
remember being in my early 20s and the kids were little, and I would put them to bed, and there I would be at 2 a.m. in the morning playing Nintendo because it was my time. It was my time to do my thing, and the house was quiet. And I'm just sitting there. I'm either playing, Mario Brothers, or what was the other one that I used to? I can't even think of the name
Donkey
of.
Kong?
No,
Donkey
it
Kong's a
was
big one,
a,
right?
it was a, I want to say Link was the name of the character. I can't even think of it now. But anyways, my favorite thing. So I was like 26, I mean, this was
Yeah.
like eons ago, but still, you have these routines that help you. And even though it was probably unhealthy, I'm 26. Who freaking cared? I was up at 2 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning playing videos. But for me, it was just perfect. And then
Yeah.
I was able to get up the next day and do my thing. And I sacrificed for that time. And I still sacrifice for my time now. I
Mhm.
just do it differently. So in our
Was
midlife, we can't do the New Year's Eve,
oh geez, no.
midnight posting anymore.
Not a
No,
chance. No,
Exactly. Or
not a
the
chance.
parties or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how our
Yeah.
routines change, but we still try to fit in those things that are important to us, like our
Yeah.
headspace or our crafting or our organization, or maybe it's our art or our writing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we do it in the best ways we can.
I think that's why I started waking up early originally. Like if I
Hmm.
woke up at 3:30 or 4, I was like, all right, fantastic. I get up, the place is to myself. I would clean, I would work out, I would do whatever. And then like, it was fantastic. That was my time. I didn't stay up
Right.
late at night. I was a very early morning person. Yeah, and then we moved here and I don't ever have a minute to myself. So it's just like whatever. Anyway, that's a whole other episode.
but it's a
Uh,
midlife episode, right? Because that's what we're talking
Right.
about. Like what we could do as
yeah.
teenagers. I didn't sleep as a teenager. I have a vivid imagination. I'm incredibly creative, and my mind tortured me at night with night
Oh,
terrors. And
oh boy, I
but it
didn't
was
have a
back in
problem.
the day, there was no cell phones. There was no this for Apple Music. So I had a record player because that's how
Mm,
old I am. So I would put on one of my albums because music could shut my brain up. So I would put an
Right.
album on, put the needle on, and then lie down. And then when it got to the end of the side, I'd have to actually sit up, move it, flip it over, put the needle back, and maybe by the end of that one, I could fall asleep enough, right? Um, so yeah, for me it's music. Like if
mm,
I can't shut my brain up and say you need to calm, because you're right, sometimes it's not the brain dump, it's not the to-do list, it's the creativity of trying to plan what your life is going to look like in a year or two, or self-care growth or things like that.
mm.
But losing sleep in my teens, 20s, 30s, even my 40s, who cares? Like if you stayed up late or you woke up at 2, you would do your hour or two, and then you got up for work at 5 a.m. and worked your 8 hours, went
Yeah,
home and
it would.
fed the family, cleaned the laundry, did the
Yeah,
budgeting,
not
took care
even
of the
think
sick
about
kid.
it,
Who cares?
right?
Now
Yeah,
I'm in my
you
50s.
drink until 4 a.m. You get up and you go
No.
to work for 4, 5:30, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, but
holy.
you can't do that now. Like
You start to sober
you
up by noon. It's like hanging
no,
your
no.
head in your hand. Like,
Yep,
yeah.
yep,
Oh my God,
yep.
kill me
And it
now.
and
I
it
could never do
physically
that.
hurts to be that tired. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a whole, like, I know there's, what's that term? Hangry, like when you're so hungry, you're angry.
Mhm.
But losing sleep in the middle of the night, like those nights where I wake up in the middle of the night and as soon as I pull a dumb thread and I start thinking and I lose 2 hours of sleep, the next morning when my alarm goes off, I don't want to go for my walk. I don't want to, do my morning routine. I don't want to sit at the computer and do hours of work. I don't want to do anything. Like
Yes.
it completely changes in my 50s.
Why do you have an alarm? I don't have an alarm.
Well, I wake up
Right.
before, but it it's intention, right? Like when I go to sleep at night,
Yeah.
I am planning how I'm going to intentionally get up in the morning and get done what I need to get
Yeah.
done.
That would,
And
I know that would instantly piss me off if I woke up to an alarm.
oh, would
It
it?
would, yeah, absolutely. Like again, because I wake up at 5 or like regardless. It doesn't matter what time I go to bed,
Right,
I'm awake at that time. The thought
right.
of having to wake up to an alarm and you don't even have to, like, oh my God, kill me now.
Oh,
Kill
really?
me now.
I love
Yeah.
setting it, and then I love waking up before it, and it's like I can reach over and turn it off before it goes off. And I'm like, I forgot this morning, so I was actually sitting on the toilet when it went off. I almost like threw my phone into the shower because it freaked me out. But uh, yep, I don't
That's
know.
part of
It's
her routine, Tracy.
Yeah,
part of my routine.
I
My
know,
alarm
nothing
set.
wrong with that. You
Well, I'm so
exactly.
glad that, I mean, I
That's
used to
funny.
go to sleep at all times and then I used to get up at all times, but now my body is settled in and I don't know if it's the post-menopause thing or not or something, but I can almost set a clock to me getting up between 6 and 6:30 every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
And the only time that varies and not by much is if I've had a bad night, you know. I might get up at 7 or 7:30 if I've lost an hour or two in the middle of the night,
Wow.
which doesn't happen very much, but it's great. It's great not to get up by an alarm
Oh yeah.
when your body has gotten used to that practice. And even with you setting an alarm, your body it has obviously gotten used to that. And so it does feel better to get up earlier because not too long ago I used to get up like at 8, 8:30, and even that little bit of time
Mm.
more, it almost seemed like you wasted half the morning.
Yeah, half your day's gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
yeah.
so getting up at 6, 6:30 and having that rest time for me, I'm able to just kind of wake up naturally over the next 2 hours rather than rushing and having to be
Mm.
somewhere and everything. Because if I have to be somewhere early, like let's say 8, I have to get up at 6 because
Mhm.
I want that 2 hours of doing things naturally and in my own
Mm.
time.
Yep.
It doesn't mean I can't do it the other way because when I did work, I used to get up at 7:30 and be to work at 8.
Oh my.
Oh
And
Wow.
man.
I could and it was like an 8-minute drive, you know.
Oh
So I
wow.
can do that, but it's not as I don't know, naturally
Mm-mm.
unfolding. And my mornings, I probably why I needed that time at night, that headspace at night, because I got up, I got dressed, I brushed my teeth, and I was out the door. And then it was all day at work. And then I came home, and then it's dinner, and then it's the kids, and then it's,
Yeah.
cleaning, and then it's doing things. And then by the time 10 o'clock comes around, it's like, well, I haven't gotten any time to
To
myself.
myself,
So
right?
now
Yeah,
it's my
absolutely.
time. So I'm not going to bed until noon. I mean, midnight
Yeah,
or 12:30 or something. So
that's
yeah,
right.
we
Yeah.
didn't even get into dreams. So we'll have to have
No.
another episode and talk
Yeah,
about
it's right around
dreams.
30 minutes now, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
Is it
that's
really
quick. Yeah,
already?
yeah, yeah. We
Wow.
did
crazy.
it. We're quick.
So the
Yeah.
bottom line is scheduling or not routines, right?
Re-
Routines.
mm,
Routines,
Absolutely.
however your routine is, whether
whatever that looks like
watching
for you.
Seinfeld
Yeah.
or watching a movie, or for me, it's my my bedtime routine and my morning routine, because then I can
Mhm.
sleep peacefully knowing that my alarm's set and I know what I'm going to get done in the morning. Routines help your body go into the sleep, however you do it,
Yeah. Yeah. Into the
right?
routine.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
Sleep
trying
mode.
to do the best you can at closing those loops at night before you go to bed.
Yeah.
So if you have unfinished business, figure into your routine how you're going to take care of that unfinished business, either by writing a to-do list for the next
Mm.
morning or by quickly writing in a journal about how you're feeling if you have something unresolved that you haven't dealt with that day or something. And so there are many ways you can do that. Some people take baths before they go to bed,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's really calming, and you can listen to music and maybe that'll help things
See,
too.
that doesn't
So
work
there
for
are
me.
so
That's
many
funny.
ways.
Yeah,
What?
that's one of those things that does not work for me. To sit in a bath,
Right.
it has never calmed me that much. I wish it did because it seems so, but it's never been my thing. Yeah.
Just get a jacuzzi.
Yeah, there you go.
House and
There
hot,
you
hot,
go.
hot
Yeah.
water. Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a hug.
Well, we haven't even had a completely different topic, but we've been with pretty much without water for 2 months. You would get in the shower, and I've got like you can't really tell, but I have very thick hair, and it would be trickling down a little bit 'cause we were on a well, right? And then you get soaped up, and the water would shut off. It's like, oh, and I had to stand there for a minute and wait and hope and pray. You turn it back on, and the water would trickle out a little bit, and you wash off a little bit more. And it's so it stressed. Even showering was stressful for
Oh
the
my
longest
God.
time. We just had somebody come on Thursday. God love him. He'd fixed. There was a valve in the pump thing, and he fixed that. He cleaned the filters. He did the pressure tank, got that right. Man, I don't even want to get out of the shower now. The water's
Oh,
fantastic. It's so nice. You stand there.
Oh boy.
Ah, oh,
And that's
yeah.
another thing that affects our sleep.
Oh,
Stresses like that we have
yeah.
no control over sometimes, that interrupt our day and interrupt our routines and interrupt
Yeah.
our ability to have that kind of winding down at night,
Yeah.
and it's just
Yeah.
continual. So anything that you can do to tackle those kinds of stressors or to make your environment a lot more stress free, like I'm
Yeah.
sitting in mine, if you could see my office right now, holy cow. Um, I don't even know how I can think right now because I have been just turning it upside down, kind of doing projects, sorting, doing all kind, and I got things piled up here and there and everywhere, you know. And so that is not a stress-free environment.
No, and you say that is really important to have your bedroom clean.
Mhm,
Don't have
mhm.
piles of clothes and piles of books and piles of papers and piles of everything all around you because that just adds a
Yes,
whole different level of stress, right? And
exactly.
try to keep it cold and all the typical things they say, make sure it's dark, but I don't like
yep.
it.
And
It's,
that's another
yeah,
thing for
the
your
clean
routine.
room is important.
Yes. Because we all have a routine when we get in bed. At least I do. I
Yeah.
straighten my sheets out a certain way. I,
Yeah, me too.
do my pillow a certain way. There's those routines that you kind of incorporate that gets your body and your brain ready for the fact that you're about to crawl into bed.
Yeah.
So those are
Yeah.
all good things to do.
Yeah. Right. Good, good, good. I think
Perfect.
that's
So,
fantastic. Yeah.
wow, just between us girls. There we go. First
Yeah.
episode.
Yay. Do as we
So,
say, not as we do.
yep. So
There we
welcome,
go.
welcome listeners to our
Yeah.
time. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
remember, in a world where you can be anything, be happy, be healthy, be kind.
And get
And
good
sleep
sleep.
well.
And yeah,
Yeah. There you go. All right. Nice. Bye.
bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Happy Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with anyone you think would benefit from the topics we're discussing. We'd love to hear from you. DM us with your thoughts, comments, or ideas for future episodes. And don't forget to check out the links in our bio if you'd like to connect with any of us or learn more about what we do. Until next time, remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, be happy, and be healthy.